So welcome to this lecture on animations. So in this lecture, we'll be dealing with a more very nuanced topic, which is a more advanced CSS topic. So I'll just get you with the core knowledge and the basics that you need to get your foot in the door. Right? This topic is very nuanced. It's very subtle. There are many different properties that exist, and you can always look at the documentation. However, once you've grasped the fundamentals and have received the core knowledge, you can just ease through all the other properties that exist out there, animation properties that exist. So for example, I have this box here and I want to style it with animations. So for simplicity's sake, I will be just changing the color here. So I'm going to change it from a few arbitrarily chosen colors. So for example, here I'm going to start off with the animation name and what's taking place. So keyframes, and let's just say color transition is the name of our animation here. And then let's just say at 50%, I want the background, let's just start with 0% actually, 0%. So 0%, I want the background to be red, for instance. At 50%, I want the background color to be black. And at 100%, I want the background color to be, let's just say it's gold. Okay, excellent. Now it's gold. I just removed a few curly braces here that were extraneous and probably not needed. So now I have to apply the animation to the div. So I've already selected the div using the ID selector, name the box. Okay, and now I just want to apply the animation. So to apply the animation, I have to first go animation-name, and then I have to give it a value of the animation property, and the animation name here is color transition, and it's in camel case, color transition, and I have to specify the animation duration. So I'm going to go animation duration, and then I'm going to give it, say, 6 seconds here for simplicity's sake. And now if I didn't make any syntax errors, this should work. So observe very carefully. There we go. So as you can see, all three colors were represented here. So at 0%, it will be 100% red. So the color will be red, and it will transition slowly towards the black color, such that at 50% is 100% black. And then from 50% of the animation duration up to 100% of the animation duration, it will slowly transition to the gold color, such that at 6 seconds, which is the full length of the animation specified here, it will be 100% gold. So certainly that's how that works. You notice that the animation here has ceased. We can always make the animation repeat. So to make the animation repeat non-stop, we have to use this property called animation iteration -count. And here we can specify infinite, and let's just see what happens. So now in a duration of 6 seconds, it should not just stop, it should go back to red again. We'll go back to black again, and then we'll go back to gold again infinitely. Alternatively, there are other values that you can put here that are integer values. For example, I want the animation to repeat twice, so I can just say 2 here, save that, and then I just play this. So it will repeat twice and then it will stop. So it stops at gold. Then it should start over again from red and then stops at gold. And that will be the end of the animation. So another cool property that exists with animations is a property called animation delay. So this is a delay that we give an animation before the animation starts. So animation-delay, let's just give it a 4 seconds just to make sure that it's like very noticeable. So let's show this. So after 4 seconds, that's when the animation should start, and then it should repeat twice, and then it should stop. So that's how animation delay works. So another interesting animation property is the animation direction property. Now, just to explain this, so we notice that it goes from 0% to 100%, 0% to 50% to 100% in this particular direction. So that is to say, it is moving from red to black to gold. So this is called the animation direction. Alternatively, you can always make the animation direction go in the reverse direction. So you can start from gold to black to red. So just to demonstrate this, I could just say animation -direction, and this takes the value of, say, reverse, for instance, reverse. So now what we should be able to observe is this transition from gold to red. So let's just start. See, it starts from gold to red and then to yellow. Another interesting property of animation direction is that we can alternate. So we can alternate between going in the forward direction and going in the backwards direction, particularly if our animation iteration count is 2. So in the first iteration, it might go in the forward direction. In the next iteration of this animation, it might go in the backwards direction. So just demonstrate this, but in the first place, let's remove the delay here so it will be easier to demonstrate. So now I just said alternate. So if I alternate, it should go from red to gold, and then from gold, it should go back to red. So the end of the full animation should be red. So let's just demonstrate this. Black, and then it should go to gold. Now from gold, it should go back to red. So now it's black, and then finally it's going to gold in the second iteration. So that's how that works. Another very important property of animations is called the animation timing function. Now, the animation timing function basically controls the speed of the transitions between the different keyframes that we have here. So, for example, just to demonstrate this, I will first give it an ease in value. So what does ease in? It means it starts from a very slow animation to a very fast animation. And the best way to actually demonstrate this is to use a different type of animation, namely the transform property. So I'm just going to transform this, perhaps make it bigger. So let's make it bigger. So I'm just going to say transform and then scale 1.0. So it will remain the same size at 0%. Then I'll have to put the semicolon here. And now I'm just going to copy this, paste it here. So at 50%, let's just say I want it to be 1.3. Then at 100%, I want it to be 1.5. So let's just demonstrate this. So it will progressively get faster with ease in, so it will start slow, and then it will progressively get faster. With ease out, it will be the reverse, so it will start fast, then it will slow down. So let me demonstrate this, and let's refresh now. And we notice that it's now slowing down, right? So it starts very fast, then it slows down, then it starts very fast here, as we can see, and then it sort of slows down. So that's how ease out works. So ease in, so this value of the CSS property will start slow, then speed up, then it will end up being slow again. So I don't know if this is visible. However, that's how to explain this property. So it starts slow, then speeds up, then it ends up being slow again. So that's how the timing function works here for ease in out value. Another value to this property is called the linear value. So linear value, just as you note, it will be constant throughout. The animation speed will be constant throughout, so it will be just linear, just moves linearly and with no like noticeable shifts in the speed, like so, between the key and frames. And the default value actually here is ease. So it starts slow, accelerates, then slows down again. Similar to ease in, ease out, I guess, if you think about it. Slow, and then should end slow. So that's ease would be the default property to this animation iteration count. Now, there's actually a shortcut method to these animation style properties, and it's in the following way. So for example, I could just say animation instead of saying animation dash name, animation dash duration, animation iteration. I could just say animation. Well, this is how the syntax should go. So animation name and then duration. Now these are essential. You must have these, are not optional. And then the others are optional, like the timing function, the delay, the iteration count, the direction, which we have covered. These are the core ones, and then there's the fill mode and the play state. Now, these I would recommend that you look at the documentation to deal with, but for the core knowledge and the fundamental knowledge, we must know these ones. So, for instance, I could just have the animation name and duration. I could certainly specify these ones outside of the basic shortcut. So let me show you how this works. So for example, I could just remove the animation name and duration here and just specify it like so, animation. Then I could just say here the animation name again is color transition, and then I have to specify the animation duration as a matter of compulsion. It has to be there, otherwise the animation will not work. So for example, so there we go. So these ones are certainly the more important ones. And of course, the other ones here are optional. You can certainly just specify them in the following way like just using the longer method, like with each property specified. So this is how this works, and these ones you can look up in the documentation. So these are the very fundamentals that you need to get you started with animations. And there are many cool and varied things that you can do with animations in CSS, but these will cover the very core and the very basic properties that you need to get you started with animations. So thank you very much.